Hello YouTube! So we're gonna jump right into today's video. Here is my pantry and we're gonna do some spring cleaning. Of course, I had to do some shopping before, so I'm gonna go through some of the items that I purchased and here they are. So the first thing you're gonna see here is the Good Grips, the 10-piece pop container set. Also, I grabbed this Honest multi-surface grapefruit spray for cleaning purposes, and this is one of my favorite things. This is by Talented Kitchen, and I got this off Amazon. I will go ahead and link everything down in the description bar. This next item I also got off Amazon. This is a tea holder, and it has 12 compartments, and I'm so excited to clear out all my teas and sort them in here. And this is how it looks when it's unwrapped. It is just so beautiful and is actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Next, I grabbed these two jars from IKEA, $5.99 each, and I also grabbed these little storage bins that were $4.50 each from IKEA as well. And I also did grab some from Target. These jars are a little bit bigger, so if I take the one from IKEA in comparison, the IKEA one's a little bit smaller, but I might not use them all for the pantry and just might use some in our laundry for storage. Next, I found this cute little cookie jar from TJ Maxx for $5.99. I wanted to find one more, but I couldn't. But that's okay, I'll go ahead and store the cookies in this one. So next, I went ahead and cleaned out this table. I just left a few things that I brought home from work. Just a few things here, and then my water and stuff over there. So I just want a flat surface so I can go ahead and organize and start pulling everything out from the closet onto the table and start organizing everything. So as I was pulling stuff out, I made sure that everything was placed on the table with a certain category, so it would be a lot easier to start cleaning things out and everything being a lot more organized. So as you can see, all my stuff is laid out in sections. For example, this is all my baking stuff over here, and next to that I have all my kitchen gadgets like blenders, and it makes the process so much easier knowing where all your stuff is, like your flour, your canned goods and stuff. So let's go ahead and get started with my teas. So I have two sections here. I have a bucket here and a bucket here of teas, and it's overfilling with teas. So I want to go ahead and put them into this container, and first thing I'm going to do is make sure that the teas are not expired. Sometimes you just don't know with the teas that are way in the bottom here. So I'm going to go ahead and start and look through all of these teas and make sure none of them are expired, and organizing them and putting them into the container. And I know a lot of people don't like green tea, but it is one of my most favorite teas, along with this Bigelow Earl Grey. And we have one in decaf and also just regular caffeine, depending if we're drinking this at night or in the morning. As you're gonna notice, we are tea addicts. I am a coffee drinker, but my husband really loves tea, and I definitely like to switch it up and have some tea. This passion fruit is absolutely one of my most favorite teas, especially when I brew it and let it cool off and make an iced tea with lemonade, aka the Starbucks passion fruit drink. I'm gonna grab this little container of miscellaneous tea and fill in the rest of the teas. And then look at how beautiful this looks and how organized it is. I was able to cut back on so many boxes. Look at this. This is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 boxes. A total of 12 boxes that I can go ahead and get rid of. Alright, the next thing is going through all of these boxes and making sure everything is in the right category and making sure nothing is expired. So I made this video back in February of 2019, so don't get scared when you see some 2019 labels here. They're okay, but labels like this that are faded, I went ahead and tossed out. This video was long overdue. It's something that I recorded and never edited. Now that I have all this time, I figured I will go ahead and edit all of this stuff. So I'm just going through the items and tossing out anything that is expired, like this one in 2018. Next, I'm going to jump into my spices. This is a spice rack that I got from Target, and I'm going to go ahead and fill all these empty containers with the store-bought spices that I have. And I'm just going to go ahead and get them all into the containers so it's nice and organized. And just look at the difference between the store-bought and these little containers, and it just looks so beautiful of all the colors on the spice rack. And I'm going to go ahead and do that throughout everything in the kitchen. I'm going to go ahead and grab all the cereal boxes and go ahead and pour all of the cereal into these containers. And I will go ahead and do the same thing with the pasta, but this time I kind of failed and everything just went splat on the floor. So I'm going to act like that didn't happen. I'm going to grab a new container of spaghetti to show you guys another example of how beautiful it looks in these containers. I'm going to be a little bit more careful, make sure I don't drop anything, shake it up so it all goes to the bottom, and it just looks so much prettier in a container. Next, I grabbed all my oils and poured them into this little container. It has a pour lid and it makes it so much easier getting the oil onto the pan. Alright, once I finished repackaging and going through everything, I have organized everything into its categories. I have my pastas over here, my canned goods, my baking goods, and this is like miscellaneous chips and junk food. And next is the most favorite thing to do, which is start to label all of my stuff. So I grabbed my labels and grabbed all of my containers. Next, I have to find my flour and my sugar labels here. So these labels have a lot, tea, coffee. There's my all-purpose flour, so I will go ahead and label that right now. Going based off the first label, I'm going to go ahead and grab the other labels and align them and make sure that they are aligned and straight. And look how beautiful that looks. I'm going to do that along with all my other containers, but first making sure that I fill them up. Here's my powdered sugar. So I'm going to fill that up and toss the bag out, and then I'm going to put my powdered sugar label on. And I quickly want to show you these labels. They have a lot that I can use. There's tea, coffee, chocolate chips, popcorn. On the second page you're going to see treats, baking soda, and on the last page there's so much more like pasta and baking powder. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these pop containers. They're absolutely my favorite. The lid you just pop open, and then to lock it you just push it down. Next, I'm going to go ahead and label everything. Here is my chocolate chip. Also, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little white label. I'm going to go ahead and grab a Sharpie and take a look at the expiration date. And then what I'm going to do is write it down and then stick it to the bottom of each of the container. So this allows me to know when things are getting expired. So I can always just flip the container upside down and it's going to list when all of the stuff is expired and I need to toss it out. So the fun part now is to go ahead and organize and put everything back. So while I was putting things back, I found these almonds and I left it in the original container. I didn't like the front, so I just left it like this, a little bit more appealing. Another thing I really didn't like was just the exposed white rack. So your girl went to Home Depot and got herself some panel boards. I went ahead and went into the pantry and made all the measurements for the pantry shelves. I aligned that onto the paperwork and measured it all out, traced out where I needed it to, and then I went ahead and cut all the pieces out and placed it back into the pantry. Lastly, I put the panel in and put all of the stuff back into the closet, organized by containers, and look at what the difference is. Here's a little overview and a little snippet of the before and after one more time. I am just so in love with the after. Everything is so much more organized. You know where things are, and if anything is expired, you know when to toss it and go purchase new products. Alright guys, if you like this, go ahead and give me a like, comment down below what are you spring cleaning right now, and then go ahead and subscribe for more videos.